Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution 3 video. I was recently looking back at my old videos when Jurassic World Evolution 2 first released, and remembered about one of my favourite videos I made during the release of the game, creating Jurassic Islands. Essentially, you could skip some lagoon placements and create a land barrier for your dinosaurs to reside within the middle of the lagoons, or maybe even your humans too. But that got me thinking, how else can we improve on this concept in Evolution 3? Well, with the help of the scenery items now in Evolution 3, we can go ahead and make natural looking lagoons that are seamless and well built. So today I will be giving you a tutorial on how to go about doing exactly this. What you are watching right now is my third attempt at making this video. The first attempt, my audio came out completely bass boosted, and on the second attempt my capture device decided to not record whatsoever. So I am really trying to keep it together right now, as every single day has had a new problem with a video or personal life. So it would really mean the world to me if you could leave a like on this video. And I'm also nearly at 300,000 subscribers, so I'd love to reach that by the end of the year. Do consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And if you also haven't already purchased your copy of Jurassic World Evolution 3, you can do exactly that by going down to the description and purchasing the game via the link that you see there. Basically, this works the same as a creator code, so at no extra cost to you guys, I do take a small percentage of that money spent, and it helps me out more than you can imagine. I mean, seriously, if you could see the state of things right now, you'd really understand how much this would help. But enough of my blabbering, I think it's time to get into teaching you how to build natural lagoons in Jurassic World Evolution 3. So here we are on Germany, a map that I've been meaning to check out, as I heard that the original maps returning in Evolution 3 actually have had some slight changes added to them. On Germany, I don't actually see much difference, if any. Maybe the beach is a little bit bigger, but we'll go in depth about all of that for another video later down the line. Anyways, let's head on over to this crevice over here where we have practically no use for it. It's way too small to build anything within it, so I'll go ahead and repurpose this area instead. We'll start off by grabbing our terrain brush and erratically raising the terrain within this area, making sure we have a vibrant change of ups and downs. Once completed, we'll want to inspect the area and see all of the grassy textures that were left behind. And within these textures, we'll place some trees and foliage so that we have a more randomized and naturalistic feel. What we are doing here is creating a backdrop for our lagoons, to ensure it feels like it flows within a natural barrier of the world. Once we've done smoothing out the edges, it's time to place down the lagoons themselves. We'll start off with one near the edge of the higher terrain and make sure to keep an eye out for where the next set of lagoons can be placed. Once these have been placed, you can see that there's now a strange change in the terrain, and within this gap between the land and the lagoon, you unfortunately cannot control the terrain within this area. So this is where the new scenery items come into effect. Thankfully, the game makes it easier for us to work out which rocks naturally blend within the biome. Here on Germany, we have the white looking rocks right at the top available to use right away. We'll go down to the larger section of rocks and select the specific one that is large, curved and thick. Anyways, this one allows you to build that horrible unnatural drop off into a more natural looking rockscape. However, you'll need to play around with the height of these rocks, as you can definitely make it look a lot better whilst doing this. After some time has now passed by putting this together, you should come out with something sort of looking like this. A natural slope going down towards your lagoon, and then a change of texture with the rocks. But there's still one problem. You have the gap that's between the rocks and the lagoon. Now, you could do one of two solutions here. You can bin off the rock barriers and instead place down some foliage and trees. Or you can continue making this area feel a little more natural by placing down multiple rocks around the lagoon barrier to blend in within the rocks involved with the backdrop. For this, you'll need to create a natural blend of a variety of rocks. So instead of using the same rocks over and over again, you can place some smaller rocks within the crevices to ensure that the rocks don't look artificial. Now you'll want to continue building around your lagoon barrier to adapt a natural barrier with these rocks. And once you've done that, placing the rocks around the lagoon, just like that, you have a natural rock barrier. But what if you want to spice up your lagoons just a little bit more? Well, you can take inspiration from my older video for the Jurassic Island project and go ahead and allow for some land to be incorporated within the middle of the lagoons. This is great for both dinosaurs and people, but of course it's not limited to that, and you can take your pick with your scenery items and decorate the section however you want. However, let's move on to the final chapter of this tutorial, and that's blending the lagoon water into natural water. For this, you'll need the lagoon to be situated on a higher terrain level. What we have here is perfect, and there's a natural set of water just lower down that we'll use very soon as well. So for this to look natural, you'll want the water to be as close to the barrier as possible. Unfortunately, the game does have some limitations, so it's a little challenging getting it very close. And to make matters worse, you'll most likely want to use deep water in this area, as the deep water matches a similar color to the lagoon water, but with using deep water comes a larger surface area that you must use. But when you do compare the water types, especially from bird's eye view, you'll be able to see that there's a better connection between deep water and lagoon water. But for the sake of this video, we're only going to be using the shallow water. So once you've got that water close to the barrier of the lagoon, you'll want to create a waterfall by merging the two waters together, the higher section and the lower section. Once you have a waterfall as close to the barrier as possible, you'll want to start making it blend and look natural. This is where you'll once again use the rocks. For this step, you'll do what you did earlier by building a natural barrier, overlapping the lagoon barrier. Then, once you're done with that, you can go ahead and build a natural set of rocks around the waterfall and make it look realistic by merging multiple rocks together. Now, this next step is completely optional, but you can go ahead and use the thin layered rocks to build a ceiling above the top layer of the water you made for the waterfall. But once you've gone ahead and blended it, you should have something that looks as natural as you can get it. As if the lagoon water flows through the rocks into your park and then drops down in a waterfall. This is one of the best ways to make your lagoons feel like they naturally fit within the park's ecosystem. Of course, you can play around with this idea and adopt them to other aspects, such as the hatcheries and viewing galleries. But for now, that's everything we have to show you for building natural lagoons in Jurassic World Evolution 3. If you enjoyed this video and feel like you learned something from it, then head on over to the comment section and let me know what you learned. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help us reach 300,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Oh, and don't forget to purchase your copy of Jurassic World Evolution 3 via the link in the description below. But most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.